What's up guys? Welcome back to another video. This one's going to be a little different than some of the other ones I've done, but not quite out of the realm of my normal self. So let's just dive right in. I'm sure the title gave it away, so you obviously wanted to watch it. You clicked, so let's get into it. If this is your first time tuning in, I'm Brittany with Laid Back Lux. I bring you lifestyle and life's little luxuries. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely hit the subscribe button and become part of the Laid Back crew. I'd love to have you here. If this isn't your first time tuning in, welcome back. I hope things are going well for you. Sorry I keep shaking the table. I'm doing exactly what I complain of Netflix filmers doing. I mean, half of those shows are shaky as shit, but we won't even get into that. Today's video is about a designer dupe. So I don't know if you've seen my other video in the past where I did a comparison on a fake versus real Louis Vuitton, and I kind of told my story about why I buy fake bags. I'll tell it again. I usually like to buy designer dupes in the beginning for a few reasons. I like to see if I actually like the bag. If I like the bag, if I like the style, if I think it's functional, how do I treat it? Is it heavy? Is it going to be something that I'm actually going to utilize? And especially with something on a Chanel, those prices are going up like crazy. And I don't want to drop $10,000 on a bag and then wind up hating it. I don't even think I can even bring myself to drop $10,000 on a bag. So I kind of bought the bags too to see if I would just hate them enough to not want one anymore. But the actually opposite happened. I wound up getting two dupes to see which style I liked better. Let's kind of talk about them. So I purchased these guys off of Instagram. There were people that were following me, not on my Laid Back Lux Instagram, but my personal Instagram. And then I kind of was following them. And at first I didn't realize they were fake. Some, except for when I started to see some of the Louis Vuitton designs come out, I'm like, that's a little off. And then I realized they were replica sites. And this is something that you guys are going to have to help me with, my Chanel homies. You're going to have to help me out with this because this is a whole new ball game for me. I've only been into like one or two Chanel stores, and one was in Ala Moana years ago before I even really cared about luxury bags. Well, I have always cared about luxury bags, but I never cared about Chanel. And then the other time was in Europe, and I was looking for something specific that they didn't carry, so I was in and out. I don't even think I did a lap. But that's kind of it with my experience. So I wasn't really sure what to look for. I wasn't really sure, it was like 50 bucks. And I got it from this dude off the street, the Louis Vuitton or the Chanel style. And the dupe bag was all right because it was really kind of flimsy and I could take it to the beach. I could just do whatever I wanted with it. But I wound up donating it, and I was looking at these Instagrams and I really wasn't going to do it. But one day I was just like, let me give it a shot. I really want bags. Let me see if I'm going to like it. One section, because they're classic. I want a timeless piece. I want something that's never going to go out of style. And I want something that if I did need to sell would have a good return on investment. This is supposed to be the image quality bag. I didn't spend $1,000 on this bag or anything like that. This would be in my opinion, a mid-range quality replica. I paid about $265 for this with shipping, give or take. And since it was a first time purchasing from this buyer, I did do not friends and family, but like a sale or whatever on PayPal when you have it insured. They said it was okay if I paid them the difference. I paid them the difference. I think it was an extra $12 to have that peace of mind that I can get my money back if anything went wrong. So they let me do that, and that was a green flag for me. Green flag on the play. That was a green flag for me, so I continued with my purchase. Some of the things that I did notice when I did buy the bag, because I was doing some comparisons and as much research as I could online before I received the bag, and then also when I received the bag, I did a lot of comparisons. So the first comparison I did was with the duplicate or replica that I bought from Puerto Rico. That was a bust. I just was like, you know what? I'm getting rid of this Puerto Rico bag. I don't need it. I'll just continue to use this one. And some of the things that were like very similar to what I was researching was what the bag, or as far as what is the bag supposed to feel like and things of that nature. It kind of hits the mark. So the chain isn't actually, this is a heavy bag. People were always saying that the Chanel classic flaps are heavy. And they're correct. This is a heavy bag. I don't even know how much this weighs. I'd say at least, I don't know, at least a pound. It feels like a pound and a half. It feels heavy. Most of that I feel like is in the chain. This chain it's heavy. The hardware on it is heavy, but it's nice. It's not really, I don't know. I'm doing a close-up so you guys who are Chanel connoisseurs can definitely leave your feedback in the reviews. I will not be offended. I know this is a replica, so I like knowing what's fake on the bag. So when I do come across a real one, I can see those signs too, especially since I'm just getting into this brand. But this is the chain. The chain is heavy. I did count the stitching. The stitching in each cube has between the 10 to 15 or whatever the model is supposed to be. It fell in that realm. Most of the items lined up really nicely. So they hit a lot of the marks. As far as the inside of the bag goes, it had a lot of similarities too. The one thing that was the biggest difference for me as like a kind of novice trained eye is that the serial number in the bag didn't look like a real serial number. It looked like the other sticker. Hopefully I can show you guys, but it looked like the other sticker that I've seen in bags, but it didn't look like an authentic serial number, or I could be wrong completely. You guys tell me in the comments. Another thing is this bag looks a little too shiny or plasticky. I don't know, but I've seen some real Chanel bags that look shiny and plasticky too. I don't know, but it doesn't feel that way. It feels nice. They claim to use real material and not fake or cheap material. So this is supposed to be like a real caviar. I don't know. It does have texture. You can feel like grooves and things like that in there. It didn't have like a really bad smell. This one had more of a smell than the other one that I'll get to. And it took like a day or two to wear off. And I didn't like it because that smell alone was like, this lets me know it doesn't smell right to me. But it smelled familiar. But I don't know how to explain it. It just didn't, there was a smell though when it came. But nothing too bad. It was gone in like a day. I think it was just because it had been packaged and sitting in that box for so long. It had a smell. Anyways, so the clasp looked very similar. The little details that were supposed to be on it, I could see and find. When I open it up, it does have the Chanel Paris in there. Again, I don't have a real one, so I can't compare and let you see how fake or legit it is. I'm just showing you what the $260 got me and how I feel about the bags. The other thing I did notice about this bag that I didn't really like, but I don't seem to have an issue with the other one that came, is the crease. Like it has a crease. There, you guys can see it. It has a crease right there that I can't get out. And I don't know if that's something that's going to be on the real bags too. I've seen a hit or miss or a mix of those online when I'm looking at the pre-loved collections. It does have this useless zipper pocket. I don't know what people put in there. That seems okay. The quality of the zipper isn't super luxury for me, but again, I've also been doing Louis Vuitton for so long that their zippers are just really known, so I don't know if there's just a difference that way, but it's definitely not like super high quality zipper, I can tell you that. The inside has this logo and I compared this with a bag that I saw online on a seller's page that was supposed to be the same exact bag, color, and everything. So they all some of them look different. I was like, oh my God, these are the things that are fake. But when I compared it to a bag that's supposed to be this color and this year and this edition, they really paired up nicely. So I thought that was pretty cool and exciting. I do have that second pocket. There is the lipstick case in there. And then let me see if I can show you a different angle so you can see inside the bag. Don't judge me though. I've been using it as my work purse. So there's pen marks in here. So I definitely know that, hello, I use my pen cases and stuff. But some of the cons that I'll tell you about this bag that I don't like already is that I don't like going in and out of it. So I don't know how to explain it. I don't use it as much as I thought I would, but we'll get into that. Let me show you the inside of the bag. Okay. So yeah, this one has like the Chanel logo and serial number on it. I didn't take off the little tag yet. I figured I'd let it do its thing like I do with all my bags and let it fall off naturally. It does have the Chanel. Does it say made in China? That'd be funny. Oh no, made in France. And the little RR. Again, I've been using this bag for a while now. Don't come at me. And then the interior, let me see if I can find, oh, there's that little serial code that I don't feel is authentic, but I've seen something very similar on older bags. So it looks like they've taken things from several different years and tried to like mix it together. You guys let me know in the comments. But yeah, so this is my replica. Then we also have the back pocket. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this bag. What I will say about this bag is I really do like it for a couple of different reasons. Some of the pros, again, it lets me see if this style bag is something that's actually functional for my life. It lets me see if this is the color I would like to use, if it's something I use frequently, or if I wanted to go for the darker color. It lets me know about the weight of the bag. And again, this is a heavy bag for a shoulder bag. It's not my favorite to carry. It's another thing that this bag, wearing this bag out in public, did was it let me see how people would respond to me. And I wore this to Home Depot and I got followed around by some lady in Home Depot who asked me if my bag was real. She was so excited to see a real Chanel, but I was on the phone when she was doing it. It was just a really awkward situation and I could tell she'd been following me around. And I didn't like that kind of attention because I do live in a small town. So I don't wear this particular piece as much because I feel like the lighter color stands out more with my outfits. The gold is a little more classy and sophisticated. It was definitely a showstopper and it definitely draws a lot of attention. So I don't always want that attention when I'm out and about, especially by myself. But overall, you know, those are some of the pros that I have for this bag. Con is, I don't know if, I think it's a double flap thing, but the second flap, which from what I researched, is supposed to help keep the structure of the bag. And it is, like, it's very structured bag, but it makes it like a hassle because I guess this isn't soft enough or what. Maybe that's where one of the flaws of the dupe is coming in. But it makes it very hard to like get in and out of this bag with ease. So that is another reason why it's mostly been a work bag. Also the size, it's not a large bag where you could fit like a laptop and stuff in, but it's not small either. I will do some mod shots at the end so you can see what this bag looks like on my frame and what I'm talking about. So that is why when my Christmas shopping treat yourself mode was on, I decided, hey, maybe I should get a different bag. Maybe I should see about looking at a smaller Chanel bag. The single flat bags, the square had been on my list because I thought that was really cute. And smaller bags, like I'd said in some of my other videos, I've just been leaning towards those a lot more lately. And I wanted to try out a smaller Chanel bag and I knew it'd be less expensive than getting one of these guys. So that's what I did. And I think the next bag that I try will be a boy bag to see if I like that style better. And maybe even a wallet on a chain. But for now, these are the two that I got. With the delivery, when I ordered from the Instagram page, the first time with this bag, everything took at least very frequent. They'd respond right provided. I had to ask for a couple times, then they gave it, and then I had to ask which provider it was because they'll just give you the number. They'll just give you the number but won't tell you like which carrier it's on. So I'd have to ask for that, but someone always did answer. And even with the mess up on this bag, they still responded. We're actually working out the details now. We'll see what happens. I'll come back if they let you know. Particular bag around the holidays. This bag left from China. I'm kind of different and I was a little worried. I just felt like something was off with my order. So meters and classic flap. We're trying to figure out where the miscommunication happened. I paid for the 25 centimeter one. I did ask for black hardware. I did ask for something with a single flap because I didn't want the double. I wanted to see if something single flap was a lot easier to maneuver and manage. So I ordered around the communication the first time. I did let them know it came out really well. So when this box arrived, it was wrapped in bubble wrap, which was really nice to help protect the box. There still were a few little dents and dimples in the box, but it's okay because it's not real. It felt really nicely though, like the texture of the box is really nice, but you can see where there were some places where it's just like already kind of fallen apart. So that, yeah, I don't know. There was a little case that came. It does come with a ribbon. It does come with the authentication card. It also came with like this ribbon. So it kind of has like a full experience, which is really nice to see if that's something you're into. But dang, this thing is already breaking. It's already breaking. Anyways, this bag, I don't know what's going on with it. I have a love-hate relationship with it right now. And I've had a roller coaster ride of emotions with this particular guy. So again, when I got it, it was a lot smaller than I was expecting. So I could tell something was wrong. And from the whole transaction or like experience, I just felt like something was going to be off. In my head, I was really prepared to get duped and have my money taken. I knew my money was going to be gone. I knew I was just out of the $255 that I paid for this. I just was like prepared to have an empty box when it did ship, because it took forever to ship. The label was created on the 14th of December. It didn't ship till after New Year. So I was like, something's going on. They're just trying to like josh me. No movement's happening. The guy or the person kept saying, rest assured, it'll get there. And then when it got here, it was this. And it feels so much different than this. One, it's way lighter. It's a lot lighter, but it's also more soft. It feels more like the bag that I had purchased in Puerto Rico. But so I'm like I think that's where I was getting a little disappointed. And then I opened it up, right? And I was doing the review and I was like, oh man, and I was like, it's missing the CC though. Like I knew nothing about this bag because I was expecting just a smaller version of this for some reason. And so there were so many differences that I was like really disappointed. I'm like, I don't even know if I want to wear the bag out, whatever. So I started doing more research. I measured the bag to see, okay, it's 20 inches. What comes up when I look up a 20-inch Chanel? And then this bag came up. So I was reviewing a lot of the bags and I could see like, oh, the bag interior is supposed to be all black, or, oh man, this isn't like what I'm seeing. And then boom, I found like one bag on the internet that looked like this. And I'm like, it's probably a replica seller showing a picture of the bag. So then I went into the Chanel Facebook group and I did a little more research again to find that this particular looking bag, because a lot of them now come in lambskin, so they're a lot more smooth. They're not as grainy and textured. So that was one sign. I was like, oh my God, people are gonna know it's fake. And then another one was the gold. There's a light gold, a gold, and then a silver. And a majority of them were like a silver to almost light gold color. The interiors were, like I said, all black. They didn't have the burgundy. So I was a little sad because another thing it came with was this card. Don't even listen to this card. This card is so inaccurate. Look, it said the color is supposed to be gold. It's clearly black in there. It said it's supposed to be a size medium. Not a medium, and it said it's supposed to come from 21P. It doesn't. So this series that this bag is designed after is the 17B series. It's supposed to be hard to get, in black caviar with a burgundy interior. So when I saw that, I was a little more like, oh, this is supposed to be a replica of a limited edition or a hard to find series of this bag. So I felt a little more confident than taking it out because I know a little bit more of the history. And then I felt the need to come back and redo the video. Because I mean, when I was doing the unboxing, I was hot. I was happy and hot. Like it was just such a weird roller coaster of emotions. I have been using it, as you can see, because I do have things in there. So far, I like it. It's a lot easier to get into. I mean, granted, there's just that one pocket, but it fits all my essentials. It fits my business card holders, my keys, my little flip phone, and anything else that I really kind of need. If I needed a hand lotion or sanitizer, it would all be able to fit. So I thought that was really cool. The zipper, a lot of the things that I saw inside did match. There are some differences, I'm sure, because it's not real. It's not authentic, but it's a close enough dupe for me that I feel comfortable enough walking around with it without looking cray cray. But it's also a similar style, because I know there's also bags out here that demonstrate this design without copywriting it. But I also wanted to see how close they said it was supposed to be, how close I could get the bag to it, if I liked it, what kind of attention it would draw, all those things I wanted to see. So it's doing its job. I do like this one. Again, it's a lot lighter than the jumbo dupe. It's a lot easier to get into. I do like the black on gold. I do want to get a bag, so that's why I think the boy bag I get will have silver hardware to see what I like the most. And then from there, maybe I will be doing a review in the future on some authentic ones and we can do comparison videos. But for right now, this is gonna get me through. And I also kind of want to get rid of the stigma. Everyone has their reasons for good and bad. And depending on where the replicas are coming from could constitute really bad working conditions. I'm not gonna say yay or nay, but if you are someone who is pro replicas or dupes, I don't feel like you should be ashamed or feel ashamed or be bullied into feeling bad about getting them. No one's perfect. We all have our things and our vices. And again, if it's a learning curve, I like it. I'm going to use it. A lot of our things aren't always made ethically. That's not an excuse to like go out and purposely do things, but don't feel bad for rocking a replica if you are just starting out, if it's what you can afford at this time. And it's also if you're like me, you like having a mix of authentic and replicas and just good quality items. That's something that I'm trying to get into going into 2023. I will have some information if you're interested in the Instagram that I got the bags from. Instagram me, it's laidbacklux _YT. That way I can send you directly to the seller. I'm not getting a commission or anything off of this. I just wanted to share my thoughts and my opinions. I wanted to share my journey of learning about Chanel with you. And I wanted to share my experience with this particular buyer that I found on Instagram, as well as what I thought about these design bags so far. I mean, I love them both. They're both a really special place in my heart, but I'm definitely going to use this one a lot more. But I really do like this color, so I may see it about, getting one in this color, in the gold color as well. But yeah, I think that's enough talking for me. I'm going to have to edit this thing down. We're already at like 30 minutes. Let's do some mod shots. Let's see what these bad boys look like on me. I am about 5'10", 5'11". I'm currently sitting at about 245 pounds. And I wear an extra large on top and a 14, 16, 18, depending on the brand, size bottom. But you ladies know the struggle I'm talking about. So let's kind of see what these bags look like on my frame, and we'll kind of go from there. We'll do the jumbo flap first, the jumbo double flap first. So this bag is a little different because it has the chain that goes through 2 whole links. So you have the ability to do this. If you want to do a shoulder, if you want to do a high shoulder, you can double up the chain and it would look something like this. Let me get myself together. Turn around, don't look. All right, so yes, this is before if you want to do a high shoulder. Low shoulder. For me personally, the chain, I haven't built up my shoulders, so purses kind of do that on me now. So I don't really wear it single chain as much because my little baby shoulder blades, my little baby shoulders haven't come in yet. But when they do, once they stay there, this wouldn't be bad either. Let me move the chair. So we got that. You could do crossbody with this one. However, it's not bad. Depending on your torso length, it might sit a little differently. I have a shorter torso, so this one sits pretty comfortably. I can rest my arm on it if I need to, but having just that one flap to get into makes a difference on the bag completely. Because then if I want it, I have to do this. I just draw a lot of my attention to myself wearing this out and about as an everyday bag. So it just sits like this. So it's called a mini rectangle. A mini rectangle, let's see. So this one, I don't know what it is, maybe the size. It just sits a lot, or maybe the weight, sits a lot better on my shoulder than the other one does. And this one only has the single loop to go through, so you can't double up on the chain and make this smaller. At least I haven't found a way yet. I don't know. I don't think I will. But, oh, I guess I could do that. Huh, me and my chains. Let's see if that does anything. Okay, yeah, I could do that. Make it a little shorter if I wanted to. Ooh, I could probably even have that as decoration. Look at me finding things to do with this bag. But the number one thing that people liked, at least from what I was reviewing, is the fact that you can wear this bag as a crossbody a whole lot easier than the other bags. And I will say that is true. It sits a lot smoother for me, a lot more comfortably for me than my other bag. And it looks more like it's supposed to be a crossbody. So yeah, I really like this bag so far. I have been rocking it today. That's how you did see those other things in there. It's easy to get into because it's just the one pouch. So I can pull things out a lot easier. If you want a comparison side by side, this is what they look like. Crossbody to crossbody. This one actually sits a little lower. Hey, okay. People just don't like it as a crossbody, and I understand. It's not something you want to just stroll around with. When I see people on Instagram just walking around with this as their everyday bag, I'm always like, why? How do you get into it? Show me your secrets. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Any of your opinions. Are you pissed that I bought something replica? You know, are you down with it? Do they look pretty decent as a replica? Is this a bag that you would know is fake from a mile away? Or would you have to get a little closer up to it? I'd like to hear your opinions in the comments below because I'm a newbie. I know there's so many different things to look at, but yeah, could you tell? I'm sure a connoisseur would know right off the bat. Or would you? Or would you say this is a pretty decent replica for the price I paid? Clearly we know it's not a 1-for-1, but it's not straight off the streets of, you know, the city. Alright guys, that's going to be it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, I hope you stay safe and ciao. Happy New Year. Oh, this might come out way later, so doesn't matter. Alright guys, let me know what you think.